Hey guys, today we're rolling into a story that starts with a rusty chain, a lopsided wheel, and a moment that seems so small you almost didn't stop. You're walking home from work, earbuds in, traffic humming nearby, and your hoodie zipped halfway up against the late spring chill. The sky is that perfect pre-sunset lavender, and the breeze smells like warm concrete and distant barbecue smoke. You're not in a rush, but you're not exactly lingering either. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop your location and local time in the comments. I love seeing where everyone's tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You spot the kid before you hear him. He's maybe 9, wearing a backpack that's almost bigger than he is, crouched beside a mangled bicycle near the corner gas station. One shoelace is untied. His face is red, not from crying, but from frustration. He's tugging at the chain like he's trying to wrestle a python, and it's very much not working. You almost keep walking, because you've had a long day, because you don't know the kid, because honestly, bikes aren't your specialty. But something about the way he mutters to himself, not giving up, makes you pause. Need help? You ask, hesitating. He shrugs without looking up. Classic move. You take it as a yes. You kneel down. The grease stains your hands immediately. The chain's jammed between the gear and the frame, like someone tried to shift into another dimension mid-pedal. So you work at it. He watches silently. Got a name? You ask. Still nothing. Then, just as you free the chain and slide it back on, Marcus. Cool, You pause, unsure if giving your full name to a random child is frowned upon. You settle on, just someone who's had a bad bike day too. He doesn't laugh, but he does look at you, and that's something. You check the tires, spin the pedals, and adjust the seat, which looks like it was installed by a committee of squirrels. It's not perfect, but it'll ride. You give the handlebars a test shake. There. Should last till you get home. Marcus squints. Thanks. Then he hops on and rides off. No dramatic goodbye, no gratitude parade, just pedals away. You blink, stand up, wipe your hands on your jeans and chuckle. It's weird. You don't feel dismissed. You feel oddly good. Like you did something right, even if it goes unnoticed. That night, you post a quick tweet. Not about him, exactly. Just, fixed a bike for a kid today. No thank you, no name exchange. Just grease, silence, and a vibe. Kinda nice. You go to bed. By morning, the post has 87,000 likes. Someone quote tweets it with, "This is the energy we need more of." Another says, "Helping without needing applause, peak humanity." Of course it spirals. One person writes, "But what if the kid didn't even want help?" Another, "Why are we romanticizing bare minimum kindness?" Someone makes a meme, your tweet over a stock image of a guy fixing a unicycle in the rain. Captioned, "Bike Jesus." You laugh. It's too much, ridiculous even. You never expected it to go viral, you just helped because it felt right. But in the back of your mind, something buzzes. A quiet, persistent thought. What if that kid remembers? You walk the same route the next day, no Marcus. And again the next week, still nothing. Life moves on, work deadlines, groceries, trying to remember what flaxseed actually does. But every time you pass that gas station, you glance around, just in case. Authors still debate whether altruism is real or just delayed self-interest in disguise. If we help because we want to, or because we want to feel good about helping. But standing there, greasy hands and all, you know your motive wasn't that complicated. It just looked like someone needed help. And that was enough. Weeks pass. You almost forget about the kid with the broken bike, until one Tuesday on your way to grab a breakfast burrito that's 90% cheese and 10% regret, someone tugs at your jacket outside the corner store. You turn, startled. It's Marcus. But this time, he's not alone. He's standing next to another boy, taller, older, maybe a brother or a friend. They're both holding bikes. The older one's has a front wheel that wobbles like a shopping cart possessed by a demon. "You fixed mine," Marcus says plainly, gesturing to his bike like it's a known relic. "Can you fix his?" You blink, then laugh. "I mean, I can try." You kneel again. Same patch of sidewalk, same smell of old gum and fuel. The tires barely attached. One of the brake cables is frayed, and someone, bless their little chaotic soul, has zip-tied the spokes. Marcus crouches beside you this time, watches. You explain as you go, pointing at what each part does. The older boy nods like he's pretending to understand, but mostly looks grateful that someone's helping without a price tag. You ask his name. "Jalen," he says. "Cool." 10 minutes later, the bike's not perfect, but it's safe enough. Jalen does a slow lap around the lot and comes back grinning. "You magic or something?" "Only with Allen wrenches," you reply. They say thanks, this time out loud, and ride off together. You go home smiling, and that's when the real chaos starts. You mention it again online, just a casual update. "Same kid brought a friend, another broken bike. I guess I'm a mobile repair shop now." This one doesn't just go viral, it launches into orbit. A cycling brand replies, "Need tools? We got you." A nonprofit DMs asking if you'd be interested in helping host a community bike day. People start tagging you in every video about kindness, mechanics, and literally anything involving wheels. Someone calls you the chain whisperer. You cringe, but it's kind of funny. And then the article hits. A popular blog runs a piece titled, "The Stranger Who Fixed a Bike and Built a Community." It features your tweet, a screenshot of someone who saw you with the kids, and a quote from an urban planner about how micro-kindness shapes cities. You stare at the screen, stunned, because all you did, was stop. Authors still debate whether the internet connects or distorts, whether moments like this uplift or distract. But this moment, it's not just digital, it's tangible. Kids on bikes, tools in your backpack. You helping without a GoFundMe or a YouTube channel or a brand deal. One afternoon, you're sitting on the curb, organizing your makeshift toolkit, when Marcus pedals up again. No words, just parks beside you. Then, a little shy, "Want to see something cool?" You nod. He pulls a folded paper from his pocket. It's a hand-drawn flyer. Sloppy text, bright colors. "Free bike fixing Saturdays," it says in green crayon. "Is this us?" you ask. He grins. You help him clean it up, add times, a spot, even make a few copies at the local library. You post one on the gas station door, another on the park bulletin board, and the next Saturday, kids show up. 3, then 7, then 12. Some just want air in their tires. Others have handlebars that spin like pinwheels. One girl rides a scooter with duct tape where a brake used to be. You work through the queue, Marcus by your side. He's picked up the basics. You hand him a wrench, and he knows what to do. By the third week, parents start asking if they can donate tools. One brings donuts. Another offers a pop-up tent for shade. A retired bike mechanic named Gloria shows up and quietly becomes your co-pilot. It grows. Someone posts a TikTok of the kids in a line with their bikes, edited to an emotional piano cover of "Ride" by 21 Pilots. The caption, "This man didn't fix bikes. He fixed a neighborhood." You want to groan at the cheesiness, but also you tear up because it's kind of true. This thing you never meant to build is now a thing, a quiet movement, a ripple that started with grease-stained hands and a shrug. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Marcus, still mostly quiet, starts smiling more, laughing. He's found a rhythm in the work, a pride in helping others. He's the first to arrive and the last to leave, always checking tires, adjusting seats, offering water bottles like a tiny foreman with a mission. One day, while packing up, you ask him, "Why'd you come back that first time?" He shrugs, then says, "You didn't make me feel dumb. Most people do." That hits like a wrench to the chest. You nod. "Well, you're not even close." He grins. "I know." You both laugh. It's the first time he says something like that with certainty, and it sticks with you. The weather gets colder, but the Saturdays continue. You bring gloves. Marcus brings cocoa in a giant thermos he insists he made himself. You suspect his aunt, but let him have the win. More kids show up, even some with bikes that don't need fixing. They just come to hang out, help others, feel seen. The little curbside workshop starts to look like something out of a feel-good indie film. Dented helmets, mismatched tires, kids teaching each other how to tighten bolts. You catch a mom crying once, watching her son ride off for the first time without training wheels. She thanks you like you saved her life. You say it was Marcus, really. She hugs you anyway. Then one morning, as you're unloading your bag, a city van pulls up. Not the parking ticket kind. This one has the Parks Department logo and a friendly woman with a clipboard. You brace yourself. Regulations, permits, shutdowns. But she smiles. We've been watching, in a good way. The community center has a space you could use. Covered, safe, tools already installed. You blink. Wait, what? She shrugs. People talk. Someone sent that article. You've got momentum. Want to make it official? You glance at Marcus, who's testing a brake lever with surgical focus. What do you think? You ask him. He shrugs, classic Marcus style, then says, only if I still get the good wrench. Deal. That Saturday, you move into the new space, still scrappy, still quiet, but now with walls, posters, a whiteboard. You call it the Fix-It spot, half as a joke, but the name sticks. A local journalist drops by, takes a few photos, writes a piece titled, From Broken Chains to Changed Lives. You want to roll your eyes. But again, you tear up instead. You start a repair class. Teach kids how to fix their own bikes. Some don't even have bikes. They still come, just to learn, just to belong. Marcus starts leading warm-ups. Tool check, chain check, air check, he calls out like a tiny general. The kids echo back with smiles and muddy shoes. One afternoon, a teenager walks in, maybe 16, bikes in rough shape, duct tape and desperation. He's got headphones on, hoodie up, eyes guarded, the kind of kid people cross the street to avoid. Marcus walks straight up, offers a wrench. Want to learn or just chill? He asks. The kid pauses, then shrugs. Chill first, he says, then learn. You lock eyes with Marcus. He nods, serious. You feel something shift again. This isn't just about bikes anymore. You think about that first moment. The kid in the rain pushing a frame that didn't deserve to be called a bicycle. No thanks. No ask. Just a need. And how showing up without expecting anything somehow led here. Authors still debate whether altruism is ever truly selfless, whether helping others always carries a seed of ego or redemption. But you know this. When your hands are covered in grease and you're teaching a kid how to pump air without overfilling a tire, none of that matters. It's not about philosophy, it's about presence. One day, a package arrives. No name, no return address, just a worn, grease-stained box with an old-school wrench set inside and a note. Thanks for not walking past. M. You stare at it for a long time. You hang the wrench above the door. Everyone touches it on the way in like it's lucky. Because maybe it is. Another viral moment finds you months later. A mom posts a video of her son explaining in painstaking detail how to patch a tube. It's adorable. And Marcus is in the background giving a thumbs up. It blows up, brands call. TV people sniff around. You say no to most. Yes to one podcast where you talk about fixing things that aren't just mechanical. It's a quiet hit. One teacher plays it for her class. You get 30 hand-drawn thank you letters from fourth graders who now want to be bike doctors. You read everyone and cry. Again. But the most surprising moment? It happens quietly. You're packing up after a long Saturday. Most of the kids are gone. Marcus lingers, staring at his bike. You walk over. What's up? He hesitates, then says, I want to teach, like for real. Maybe even be a mechanic when I'm older. You smile. You already are one. He kicks a pebble. You think I could work here someday? You nod, no hesitation. "I think you already do." He grins. "Cool." That night, you hang up a sign. Assistant mechanic, Marcus. He pretends not to care, but you see him take a photo of it when he thinks you're not looking. And in that moment, no hashtags, no headlines, you realize this whole journey wasn't about the bikes. It wasn't even about you. It was about what happens when you help without needing applause, without expecting the thanks. Sometimes that's the purest kind of help, and it can change everything. So maybe next time you see someone struggling, whether it's a flat tire, a dropped grocery bag, or a silent kind of sadness, you'll pause. Not because there's a reward, but because you remember how it started. A boy, a broken bicycle, and the decision not to keep walking. You don't need a cape, just patience, maybe a wrench, maybe a kind word, maybe the choice to stay a few extra minutes. These stories, these quiet, honest ripples, they don't trend forever, but they live on, in tools passed down, in bikes that ride smoother, in kids who believe they can fix things because someone believed in them first. You were never trying to be a hero, you just helped. And sometimes that's what makes all the difference. Now let your breathing slow, let your shoulders drop, and remember, you did good today, even just by listening. Sleep well, friend. And that's what happens when you help without expecting anything in return. Real change, quiet, tangible, and deeply human. If this story moved you, made you smile, tear up, or think about someone you could help today, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that small actions matter, and drop a comment about a time someone helped you for no reason at all. Let's build a community that sees opportunity for kindness, not clout. If you want more stories that feel like warm light on a hard day, follow and subscribe, because the best lessons aren't always loud, but they last.